Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today we have some pretty awesome news about the Star Wars Battlefront beta. I know it's been a lot of Star Wars content recently, and some of you guys are probably like, do some more Battlefield stuff, but I gotta say I am pretty much caught up on the hype train for this game, and apparently so was the rest of the world because the beta broke EA records, having over 9 million people play the beta, which is totally insane. So let's just think about that for a second. EA, pretty much the largest game publisher in the world, and they have massive FPS titles like Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, broke their own records for the largest beta ever. So just to give you an idea, Battlefront is going to be huge. Not only that, but the overall feedback and vibe from the beta was positive. It's not to say that the beta was perfect by any means, but generally speaking, when you have a game this big and the overall community is happy with it, especially the Star Wars community, who would be huge sticklers for detail and all that, are enjoying it, then that's a good sign. And even despite my criticisms of the game, I am hugely looking forward to actually playing the final release of this. With the end of the beta, they have also announced 3 new game modes. The first one is Hero Hunt, which is a 1v7 game mode where one player gets to play as the hero and 7 other players get to play as rebels or the Empire, depending on which map you're playing on. And if somebody actually kills the hero, then they get to take the hero's place and fight against the other 7. Now, we've seen a few shooters recently that were based around asymmetrical gameplay design, and they had variable success, but the fact that they're just adding in an asymmetrical game on top of all the other epic looking modes is pretty darn cool. And I can't wait to play modes where it's like Boba Fett versus a bunch of rebels, or Han Solo versus the Empire. I imagine those are going to be a lot of fun. Another one of the new game modes is called Droid Run, where teams of 6 fight for control over 3 gonk droids that move around the map. And if you're wondering what a gonk droid is, it's the one from this screenshot that looks like a walking trash can, one of my favorites from the original trilogy. This sounds a lot like a domination style game mode with just a little bit of dynamicness added to it with the movable droids. And I like how they're bringing a lot of the classic game modes that you would expect to see in Call of Duty or Battlefield and just adding a little bit of flair to it to make it more interesting. The next game mode is called Cargo, which sounds a lot like Capture the Flag, but it's got a few rule changes that actually seem to fix some of the underlying problems with the basic Capture the Flag game mode. And that's where both teams are actually going to start off with 5 points, and you don't have to have your own flag or your own cargo in this situation in order to get a capture. So if somebody takes one of your cargo, you'll go down to 4 points instead of 5, and if they take it all the way back to their base, then they'll get an extra point, so they'll go up to 6 points. So it'll go from 5v5 to 6 versus 4. So it can go back and forth, and it's not going to create that situation where you have to sort of like capture the flag but then hide somewhere until your enemy team can recover the flag from the other team, because that was always a really boring part of CTF for me, and I'm glad that they're actually fixing that. So this could be a really fun and probably strategic game mode. Now, there's been a few extra little details that have surfaced on Reddit recently. One has to do with the actual hands and customization in game. Now, if you played the beta, you might have noticed that once you pick your hand in the start of the round, you can't really modify it other than your primary weapon. However, if you have a partner, you can use their hand instead, which makes it a lot of fun to play with a friend, because then you can decide what hand to run with and then pick something totally different to give you different styles of options. However, it surfaced on Reddit that once you hit rank 10, not only will you get more cards, but you're going to get the ability to create a second hand. So you, by yourself, will be able to pick from 2 different hands. Now, I'm not sure if this means that if you're playing with a partner who is also rank 10, that you'll be able to pick from 4 different hands, but that would be kind of cool because it would give you a lot of variability and customization mid-match to adapt to whatever's coming your way. Alright, now EA has also announced the 3 different versions of the game that are coming out. Prior to this, they had announced Standard and Deluxe version, but they have also announced Ultimate Edition, which has to do with the Season Pass, which was also just announced. There's going to be 4 DLC coming out for Star Wars Battlefront. $50 will get you the Season Pass, which gets you all 4 DLC. Otherwise, they're going to cost $15 a pop, so you can save a little bit of money by getting the Season Pass. Not a huge amount, though, so if you're not sure if you're going to love this game, then you should absolutely wait to buy the Season Pass or buy the DLC individually later, because what, you're going to save like $10 in the long run? It's not a huge savings, especially if you're on the fence. That being said, of course, there's pre-order bonuses associated with all the additions and season pass and all that stuff, so if you like those bonuses, then you might want to consider it. The one good thing, though, about the way that they're doing pre-orders now with Origin and stuff is that if you don't like the game, you can return it in 72 hours for a full refund. So not a bad way. You can pre-order the game and then decide that you don't like it and you don't really want to spend the money on it. Just return the thing. That's a pretty awesome system that they got set up. So in my book, that kind of equalizes the whole problem with pre-orders and stuff like that, because you can always just take the game back. Apparently there's a cool Han Shot First emote if you get the season pass, which I have no doubt is really going to appeal to the hardcore Star Wars fans out there. If you get the deluxe edition over the standard edition, you get like the DL-44 blaster pistol early, but you don't get anything that's like an exclusive weapon that you can only get if you pre-order stuff. It's just like earlier access to stuff pretty much, and then some custom emotes, which won't change your skills in-game. Personally, I'm still really curious to see what they have in the game for character customization. I have a feeling some of the alien heads and maybe custom stormtrooper camos will be some of those, and as a Star Wars nerd myself, getting custom stormtrooper camo or alien head revels, stuff like that, will really appeal to me. So I'm looking forward to unlocking all the cool customization stuff in this game, and of course playing on Endor. That's probably the thing that I am most excited about playing for the final release of this game. Let me know in the comments what you guys are looking forward to the most, if you are actually looking forward to playing this game. And as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.